Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. With that being said, let's just dive in. And let's start off with this announcement that we actually went over in a video recently with the IMF launching and developing this digital currency platform to enable transactions between countries. This was a CBDC system. Now from here, we really kind of started talking about some connections with Ripple and the IMF. It's one of the longest things that we've been focused on, right? Connections with central banks and Ripple and these major agencies within that. So we're looking at the BIS, the IMF, the FSB, all of these major players that are tied to these large central banks and central bank agencies. Now, what we've seen and what we found within the community has been very, very interesting. One, going all the way back in time, we know that Brad had a lot of connections with the IMF, with even Christine Lagarde, and Jesse Chang, which is the FinTech Council, used to work for Ripple as well. Now, there's a lot of other individuals here from the IMF, like Ross Lecco. Now, here's the wider view of this image as well. Again, there's even more individuals tied to the IMF here. For example, you have the chief of the Advanced Economies and Multilateral Surveillance Issues Division. There's a few other individuals here as well. But again, this is why I say focus on these meetings that have been held in the past. Who are the individuals there? To me personally, there's only one name on this image that is centered around DLT and blockchain technology. And that, of course, is Brad Garlinghouse. You even have Swift here. So as we do look at this, yes, the connections are very, very large. But this is just the beginning. Let's go over here as well. So this is from Danny over on Twitter. We do see Tobias Adrian reckons one global CBDC platform. Our blueprint for a new class of platforms would ensure greater interoperability, efficiency, and safety in cross-border payments, as well as in domestic financial markets. The BIS, Unified Ledger, the IMF, Common Platform/Ledger, again, quoting the CoinDesk announcement with IMF planning their international payments platform powered by CBDCs. And here you guys have that video. It's about 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. Listen closely to this.
And I'll stop here. So our first panelist is Tobias Adrian, who is the financial counselor and the director of the monetary and capital markets department.
Again, this is that older video that surfaced around the community for a very long time, where you had the screenshot of Christine Lagarde here. You have Brad Garlinghouse. You have all these higher ups around the global financial system as well. Again, only one individual from the crypto community is here, and that is Brad Garlinghouse. Listen closely.
Of the IMF.
Great, thank you so much. Just a year ago, all the talk was about crypto assets, Bitcoins, and its multiple evolutions. And today, I'm going to shift and talk more about e-money. In particular, I'm going to focus on stable coins and how they relate to central bank digital currency and what it might mean for the international financial system.
Most of you know about XRP and the other things that Ripple is doing. He's been a CTO in the industry for some time. In prior work, he did encrypted crowd storage and encrypted enterprise messaging and many other areas where he brings expertise. So I'll turn it over to Tobias for 20 minutes. Thanks, Tobias.
Yeah, wonderful. It's very nice to see many friends online. What you want to use is a common ledger, right? So distributed ledgers have many problems. The lack of finality, the lack of identity. So to use new technologies for policy purposes, having a common ledger, perhaps run by the central bank or by an agency appointed by the central bank,
So now they are going over a lot of the connections here. So for an example, here's a multi-currency exchange and contracting platform. Again, Tobias is the key player around this. Over here, solutions that leverage stablecoins for fast and inexpensive cross-border payments have also grown recently. Again, this talks about DLTs with central banks and the collaboration with the BIS. Key player here is the BIS. This also goes over here. For example, Stellar and Ripple, the only two major examples that are outlined in almost all of these PDF files. And then over here as well, Bullet Train, new tokens and platforms may transform cross-border payments and potentially much more. Again, from September of 2022 with Tobias. And then over here you have the Bullet Train, Ripple. Listen closely to this video. This is from August of 2022.
Today's global financial system is more complex than ever before. Yet as the world's economies grow, the infrastructure they rely on needs to evolve.
There was the Bullet Train that you've seen. Almost all of these videos, I know that we can get very caught up in trying to connect the dots, but in all of the documents, everything that I've read around this global system, this global financial system that is being restructured, and ultimately every single one of them, every single one of these documents, every single video that's being discussed as well, it all talks about cross-border payments, and guess who's tied to it all? Ripple or Stellar, the only two major players that I've talked about that are transforming the way that money is moved, settled, and even created. Now also, over here from the BIS, we have the announcement around the unified ledger. A new type of financial market infrastructure can harness the benefits of tokenization by combining CBDC tokenized deposits and tokenized assets in shared programmable platforms. Then over here, tokenization can be a major leap for the monetary system, but current isolated initiatives have a better chance to flourish if they can rely on the foundation of trust that central bank money provides. I know that a lot of people have this idea that, no, we need to cut the central banks out of the system. That's not going to happen. I'm telling you that right now, it's impossible. Central banks always win. They always win. So as we do look at this, I believe that the BIS will play a vital role in this. Now recently, as we do look at this unified ledger, I've talked to you guys about how this could ultimately become a reality. First, I want to play this video, and then I will talk to you guys a little bit about it, but this is the blueprint for the future monetary system, improving the old, enabling the new. I'm telling you guys right now, this is everything that we've been talking about for the last couple years, and it's happening in real time. The BIS is ready, the IMF is ready, the Federal Reserve is even ready. Almost every single major player is ready. Are you?
Tokenization is more than just a digital representation of money and assets. It involves digital representation on a programmable platform, which means that tokens can incorporate the rules and logic governing transfers, as well as the information about the asset itself. Now, currently, money and other claims reside in separate databases that are connected through third-party messaging systems, meaning that transactions need to be reconciled separately before being settled with finality. Tokenization makes all this one seamless operation. Tokenization is well suited to resolve incentive and information problems. Think of an example where a buyer would like to pay when the goods are delivered, while the seller would like to deliver the goods when the buyer pays. Tokenization can solve this problem by executing both transactions at the same time. Two real-world applications discussed in the chapter are resolving foreign exchange settlement risk and unlocking supply chain finance. A unified ledger with CBDCs can make full use of the ability of central bank money to knit together diverse elements of the financial system. In this sense, the full potential of tokenization can be harnessed by having central bank money reside on the same venue as other tokenized claims.
So again, tokenization, the gateway to hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars. And here you guys have the BIS talking about it and talking about this unified ledger technology. What could this mean? Well, everyone started to speculate. But you know what I looked at? I looked at the blueprint of the future monetary system. Now remember, we recently just seen an announcement with the BIS with Quant, sourcing Quant's technology as a gateway to interoperability within DLTs through what? API gateways. You know what's funny about this? You guys have APIs. The unified ledger concept can be a broad or narrow, with the first instances likely to be application-specific in scope. For example, one ledger could aim at improving security settlement, while another could facilitate trade finance in supply chains. Interesting. We talk about XinFin with trade finance. We talk about security settlement. All of this, well, we tie it back to XinFin and Ripple and Stellar. All of these ledger technologies are directly implemented onto the Overledger system. Tokenized forms of money would figure in each ledger to provide the transaction medium. Each unified ledger would bring together only the intermediaries and assets required for each application. The scope of a ledger will also determine the relevant players that must be involved in the governance arrangements. Separate ledgers could be connected through application programming interfaces, APIs, or as their scope expands over time, they could incorporate additional assets and entities or merge together. Some of the benefits envisaged from the unified ledger could be reaped by interlinking existing systems through APIs into a network of networks. You cannot make this up. Go back to my earlier Q&T videos. What were we talking about? We were talking about an API gateway to crypto, connecting the world of traditional players to the world of digital players, a network of networks like no other. While such a network of networks could still consist of separate systems and fall short of fully fledged programmability across systems, the worst drawbacks of siloed systems could be mitigated. Yeah, this is what we've been talking about. This is the evolution. You know, although there's a few problems tied to these network of networks still, the overall problems of these siloed systems will be solved. And all of this is the next chapter in our financial system. They even talk a little bit about a little bit more about APIs down here on how they can connect these ledgers to each other and existing systems. Again, I said that the world of crypto and the world of our new financial system will be built within multiple projects. You will have projects that are focused on settlement of securities, trade finance, digitization, and tokenization. There's going to be so many players within this, so you will need something to tie it all together, and Quant is that perfect player. That's why I do think that everyone should be focused on what is happening here. And in my opinion, as we do look at this unified ledger, yeah, there's going to be centralization here. Centralization will come from the central banks, but you will also have a fully decentralized financial system itself, because all these central banks will have their own currency that will rely on what they do. I've talked about this even with this new reserve currency that everyone is talking about. That new reserve currency, there won't be a reserve currency. It will be a decentralized bridge currency that everyone will rely on. Everyone could look at XRP in that way if you want to. There could be a few ways this is achieved, though. All I know from what we are reading here is that it solidifies everything that we've been talking about around this new financial system. Quant will be the gateway to connect these distributed ledger technologies within this space that are ultimately disrupting and changing the world of finance and many sectors and industries forever, all connected to the central banks and the central bank digital currencies and our financial system that we know of today, the traditional system. You won't get that digital revolution without having that connection. And the pieces of the puzzle, as they're even showing here, are falling into place now, more than ever before. And it's all centered out on what the BIS is doing. And guess what? The BIS is working closely with a lot of these players, including Ripple. I am so damn bullish on crypto technology right now, because every single document, everything that we've been reading from the BIS to the IMF to the World Bank to all of these major players around the world, especially within the elite system, are all talking about tokenization, digitization, DLT, blockchain technology, API gateways, Quant. I've said it many times in the past. Quant is the bridge technology for all of these DLTs. And guys, we finally have confirmation that the APIs, as they even do say here, like, I was not expecting them to actually say this network of networks, because that's a term that we've been using forever to describe quant and what they're doing. But this is what we've been saying forever around API gateways. What quant has solved is something that is so disruptive, and it's crucial. It's crucial for the success of crypto. Every single time that I've quoted quant, I've said, for those that are bullish on XRP, that are bullish on XDC, that are bullish on this, that, whatever, you need to be bullish on QNT. Because what quant has done is allowed for the interlinking of these existing systems with these new systems that are being created within this entire asset class. And as we do look at this asset class, crypto right now, valued at roughly over $1 trillion. Yeah, the future is completely different. This is why I say that this market is going to be a $100 trillion plus asset class in time. Give it a little bit of time, but I'm telling you right now, we are seeing an entirely new asset class being created before our eyes, and this will disrupt our entire monetary system. And we are seeing the future monetary system being created before our eyes, being planned around. Get ready, because it's happening. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. It's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this video, it's been Nick. Peace out, guys.